High Faith Podcast. Elite in the place. Mike Olton and Tiago Vasquez. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, man.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Where'd you guys meet?
I'll turn this off.
This is good, man. We're gonna play this. This is gonna be available for us on the intro or something on the after.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys a snippet.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Nice.
I think the first time it was obviously at a show, and I saw you perform live. I can't remember what show it was.
I remember.
Do you remember which one it was?
Yeah, it was the block party over by Commercial and between Commercial and Victoria.
Word, yes.
You guys all rolled up, and I was hanging out with some of my people from Maple Ridge.
Yeah.
And it was just a flood of like little shows I got invited to within a couple of weeks. It was fun. It was cool to just break into it like that. And just like, here's my music.
Well, it's dope. We were talking about it earlier, but I think it's really important to have like a good live set. Like to me, that's one of the most important things for any artist. And I've been doing this for a long ass time, and I see a lot of people that call themselves singers, and they get on stage, and then they forget that there's no second take. That there's no tweaking of knobs to make you clear.
There's no auto-tune. Oh, actually, there is auto-tune now.
Yeah, but most of the people that are out here can't really afford that on their mics.
True.
So,
but I hear you.
Yeah, so when I saw you do your thing, I was really excited because I'm like, finally, an R&B singer that can actually sing live. Like, if we're just hanging out here and someone starts singing, it's really not that big of a deal. You got homies that sing, it's cool.
Yeah.
But when you're on a stage, you got a mic and there's
Whole
people in
different
front of you.
scenario.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So
everyone's watching you.
Is that from like a very young age you've been on stages? When did you start performing?
I was probably 5 or 6 years old singing in the church, in front of the church. My dad always played guitar, so he's like, we knew all these gospel Spanish songs or whatever, and we go to church, and then he's like, go on stage, you want to sing? I'm like, yeah, I'll sing. Like I was eager, I was like,
No fear.
no fear.
Did you ever hear this saying in church? If you can't sing, sing loud.
I know, no.
Fuck. Why is it only me that's ever heard that? This is the second time I brought this
There
up.
might be a Spanish version of that one.
Damn. If you can't sing, sing it loud. That's why you always go to church, and all the loudest singers are like, what? They're just giving it. They feel, the power of God.
In the church, they would say, if you can't sing, shut the fuck up.
No, that's not the churches.
Turn your volume down.
Yeah, it's not the ones. Right? I was demonized by the Catholics, though, so it's all good.
But the Catholics have no rhythm.
No,
That kind of Catholics.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were in a different place.
No, yeah.
Your kind of music in Catholic churches was like that.
Yeah, I heard that shit. I'm just like, no, that scared me away.
You're singing the hymns, That.
Yeah.
But church really got your.
Puts me to bed though.
It puts your vocals in a experimental stage at a young age because.
True.
Right, because that is like whatever you grew up with. Church is completely opposite.
And we bounced around. Like my parents started off Catholic. We went to like Sunday sermons for many years, and then we ended up like being like Seventh-day Adventists. That was a lot of hymns too. Like like a lot of that type of shit. And after that, I went back. We went back to like going to Sunday church, and it was more like worship music, but it was like a full band. Rather than just a piano, there was a full band, and they were really freaking good.
Oh yeah,
like real musicians.
Real musicians, yeah.
Volunteering on Sunday.
Yeah,
right.
They were great, and it was exciting. I loved growing up and seeing all this, and like being able to. Actually, I ended up playing in the church band.
What instrument?
I played drums, and then I played the bass.
Damn.
Yeah, and then I think I started smoking weed or something.
I was about to ask you. Do you remember the first time you sinned on Saturday and asked for forgiveness on Sunday? Like, do you remember the first time?
I mean, I remember the first time. Yeah, I remember back in the day. Yeah, there's some moments. I'm not sure if I want to get too descriptive.
You don't have to.
Eventually
You don't have to. Mom might be watching. Yeah.
So you still play those instruments?
Yeah, I still play guitar. I mess around on the drums. I mess around on the bass. But this album that I'm doing that I got through Factor is a lot of R&B chords that I just knew from learning.
Right.
And we incorporate that into the album. And it really helped me write too, because I kind of had like the ideas already.
Preset melodies.
Yeah. So shout out to Mozart. Shout out to Rob Kosh at Volunteer Media for hooking that up. So
It's dope.
we're almost like we got the funding now. So people
It's important,
are
man.
working with smiles on their face now. Well, not that they weren't before, but it's just a relief,
Yeah.
It's a little more motivating.
Because you got to go pro bono at first, and it's
Yeah.
like
You ride on passion at the very beginning, right? Everything's passion. That's the
Yeah.
test for everyone, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
super.
can you just do this because you love to do it?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, you have
And
to
let's
create
work together and let's make
Yeah.
some money and move up together.
You got to
right?
create belief, right?
Yeah.
Like there's tons of artists out there that people just will never believe in them, right?
Yeah,
But when you find someone you believe in, that's when you just gotta ride with it
yeah.
and hope that it actually pays off. But you said your pops plays guitar too.
yeah.
Was he ever trying to pop off as a
Oh yeah,
singer?
no, definitely.
Oh, you
Trying to
did?
get record deals
Yeah,
and things like that?
he had one with Sony.
Oh
Oh,
wow!
with Sony.
Yeah, but he turned it down because he spent like a long time in Galveston and Houston
Texas.
bringing his music and writing for some big people.
Mhm.
But this is the Mexican folk
Right,
Yeah.
right.
music. This is not like Nashville.
Mainstream.
Nashville
Yeah,
style.
yeah.
Like this is not country music. It's country music, but
It's
for
for
Spanish
Mexican.
people.
Yeah. Whereabouts is your dad from? Where is he from?
We're from El Salvador.
From El Salvador. Okay.
But he turned it down because he spent 4 years without the family,
Yeah.
because they're all in El Salvador. And then once he sent them up, as soon as they came, that's when he got the call.
Oh, crazy.
And he's just like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't need it. I need my family.
Wow.
So
It's a
yeah,
choice.
that was he was strong to do that.
Dude, that's some powerful decision making, man.
Yeah.
Walk away from the dream.
Well, I mean, like I've got a couple friends who are like that, are amazing musicians, and they walked away for family, and you do regret it, I think, later on in life. But the only thing you can be happy about is when your children are normal, right? Like when you have normal kids, and not normal as in like maybe they making mistakes and whatever, but normal as in morals and ethics, right? If you're gonna sacrifice your career, you're gonna teach your kids some sort of moral ground. You know what I mean? Like belief system that actually will help them in life, right? Be good people.
Yeah, that's a hard
That's
one,
the
man.
exchange.
I think it's a hard one when you're a parent because like, there's only so much input you have. There's
Yeah.
only so much you can contribute to their growth.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if they find a significant other when they're 14, 15, that's a real shithead
Yeah.
and has a profound influence on them, your teachings are not going to go very far, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, to walk away from the dream, man, that's heavy. Yeah, like I'm just thinking about it right now. I have 2 grown-up kids. It'd be easy right now, but I had them when I had them when I was 20.
Yeah. Back in the day.
So at 20, if someone's like, "Yo,
You had him young.
you're gonna walk away from your kid,"
Yeah.
I had my son young too. I was 22.
damn, man.
He's 13 now.
Yeah.
That's good. So he's taking care of himself pretty much now.
Yeah.
Right. So it opens up your life, right? You're still a young looking guy,
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah. Right. Like you still
the
got-
indigenous
still good
in me.
look, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Just don't crack. Right. And so you.
I
there you go.
exfoliate,
Yeah. Right. So you can still go at it. Like, what have you noticed? Obviously you've been doing this how many years?
I've been recording, singing professionally now for about 5 years.
5 years. All right.
Yeah.
So has shit changed in 5 years? Like,
I
has the
mean,
system changed? Have you created a different system than when you started? Because obviously when you started, you're just
For
out
sure.
there flinging music, and
100%.
now there's something else, right?
Well, for sure. I thought, how many shows can I do in a month? Like, how many little hip hop shows can I get into?
Right.
Yeah.
And how much momentum can I create?
Yeah.
And I did create some, but then it's just like, how many times is it gonna take until you discredit yourself?
Yeah.
Till
Till you get down
like,
on yourself,
how
right?
can you build yourself? You can build yourself, like I'm just saying, and then like now you got to think more along the lines of like just being able to think bigger. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Rather than the amount of shows you can do, it's like how good of content,
The quality.
and how can you
Yeah.
like get it out there without exhausting yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many times are the same people gonna see your show?
Yeah,
That's what-
yeah,
that's the
yeah,
big part of it.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the big
yeah.
part of it.
Just do you think about that? Like, do you think about like
For
shit,
sure.
man? Like, I got my group of people coming out. There's gonna be a sprinkle of new people every time, but it's gonna be the same people coming out and supporting me all the time.
Yeah.
So you got to really constantly think about. evolving, right? Evolving in your own career.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one of the reasons I stopped doing all these shows.
Yeah.
All these shows, unless it's for like a charitable
Yeah.
work or like activist work.
It's a lot of pressure and a lot of like.
Well, the thing is, it's kind of pointless because like, the problem is like production value is really low at a lot of these shows, right? Like you have a host, act, host, act, host, act, host, act, and then the show's done.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing for people to stick around. Like once their performer leaves, they all bounce. So if an artist came with 10 people, he finishes his set, he's the first person to go, 10 people leave with him.
Oh, gotcha.
There's no reason for fans to stay. It's like, oh, I just came to watch you anyways, right?
Yeah.
They're not invested in like what the show is.
Yeah.
They're just invested in what the artist, what their friend is going to do. And to me, that's not, you're not really getting anything out of it. Because by the time the headliner goes on, or headliner, whatever you want to call it, 3 hours later, everybody's already performed. All the people already left. So you're just left with your people.
Bro.
And like the people that just come to shows. There's a handful of people that always come to shows regardless. Like Ricky J. Ricky J's, shout out to Ricky J. Ricky J's, out of all the shows, I think he's done like 5,000 shows.
I think he's just down the street, isn't he? Maple Ridge?
Yeah, he's in Maple Ridge. Yeah, he's been to like 5,000
So how do you
shows.
combat that thinking then? Like, so what do you do to keep it fresh all the time? Like, what's your process now, 5 years in?
Now it's like I'm planting seeds, you know? I'm still planting seeds, but it doesn't mean that I'm at every show. But I'm just like meticulously working with like people that believe in me first off.
Yeah.
And like have helped me, but also like are in the scene, like in different areas. Like Chemo, he's in that hip hop, scene.
Yeah.
He's
Shout out
he's
Chemo,
good.
man.
Shout out Chemo. He's
He's
giving
going to
me
be on here in the next few weeks.
yeah, dope. Mad respect for him, and he's giving me some cool opportunities.
Oh, nice.
And so yeah, so like that's one. Like some of the boys in like the jazz world too. Harvey Paris, he created a band, invited me to come sing. So we're doing festivals and
Oh, nice.
tours in like the island and like cool like little clubs downtown here.
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
But this is a whole different setting too, right? With also like in the Jamaican dancehall reggae field too. Shout out to Tug Star. Tug Star. He's a Jamaican guy out here, and he's got some pretty big hits in Jamaica right now.
Yeah.
Good for him.
We released some cool songs, and he's also given me some cool opportunity to perform
Cool.
for
So
some
it's
really
just
cool
grind.
venues.
It's like when people see you grinding it out and really trying, then they put you on, and that's what everyone has to do, right? You
For
stay
sure.
sucker free and just have a good crew of.
And do the skill level, man. Like it really comes
People
down
at
to
your skill
how good
level.
you are. Yeah, it really comes down to how good you sound and how good you are. Because, like I said, everybody wants to be an artist, man, but not everybody's good.
Yeah.
And we've kind of created this, like, I think we talked about this before. We created a society where everyone just tells everybody that they're good,
Yeah.
even if they're really bad. You're like, okay, yeah, you're my friend, you're dope,
Yeah.
but you can't tell people that because then they go perform in front of strangers
Yeah.
and they were never good. And you got a room full of people like, why is this guy performing, man? And personally, to me, that drives me crazy because when I pay money for a show, I want to see some dope shit. And when I put on a show, I want to put on some dope shit.
Yeah.
Like there shouldn't be an in between, right? But
Yeah.
dude, there's too many people that are okay with being okay.
Yeah, it's the kind of world we live in. We've created this for ourselves, right? The easy access to production and the easy access to online stuff, right? Like it's created American Idol, like
Saturated for sure.
like
Yeah.
American Idol is the worst thing that could happen to music,
You
in
think
my
so?
opinion. Yes, I do think so.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, come on, like name some of the great people out of American Idol. It's these people that realistically, majority of them, 80% of them, have no business getting a record deal. When there's great people who fucking could sing, should have record deals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you
sure.
think about that, right? But it created this instant. I could be a star. I can be a star, and took the grind kind of out of it for some people, right? And
And I
tough.
see you being very kind and
Me?
not speaking out and not
Oh.
speaking to whackness.
About what? About
No,
American Idol?
he's good. He's got very like
I
you're a humble guy, man.
Thank
I
you.
really
I appreciate
you
that.
know, I can tell that by you. Like you've been
you.
through some stuff in your life, and you know what I mean. And you're humbled by all this.
Cheers.
You understand working hard. I get it.
Cheers.
You know. So what is the best thing about being a musician in Vancouver, and the worst thing about being a musician?
Best thing is that you get into the club for free. You get a couple free drinks.
Yeah.
You vibe out with some cool people. And the worst thing is some venues. I'm not gonna name any venues.
Yeah.
don't have the best acoustics.
Oh, yes.
So it's hard.
Yes.
But it's no, I mean, there hasn't really been any negativity, man, for me.
That's good.
I've been respected and praised, and I just want to, cherish that and embrace it,
It's dope.
and I want to do, yeah, I want to be thankful for it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's dope.
So-
How long have you been out in Vancouver for now?
I've been out here for about 5 years now. But I'm from the Okanagan, Penticton. I grew up out there, but we started in Vancouver. So, some of my childhood years were here, and then we moved to the Okanagan, and we were always in Vancouver for fishing with my parents. and
Right.
Cousins out here in Coquitlam, family out in East Van.
So you have a foundation
So,
here.
family in Surrey. Oh, yeah, we were always out here.
Right.
And I was always like, I loved like that Vancouver hip hop too, right? Even from like when I first started to recognize that there was hip hop out here.
Yeah.
Rascals,
Yeah,
like
Rascals dope.
that was dope. And then like came out to like Swollen Members, and, Sweatshop Union.
Yeah, Sweatshop Union.
Shout out to all those boys, man. Like,
Yeah.
so that's I love that they were just that close, and they were creating this really good,
Touring across the country.
yeah, it's really good music, man. And I got a cool story. So I was 13 years old, and the Rascals came to my hometown,
Damn.
right? Chemo and Zevrock and Dedos.
Yeah.
The other two guys didn't show up. That's okay though.
Oh, Red One, Misfit, no?
Misfit and Red One did not show.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's okay, because I was breakdancing, and I ended up, chilling with Dedos and Zevrock, and they took me back to the green rooms, and Dedos showed me some moves or whatever. I was 13 years old. I was like, sweet,
Damn.
this is cool, man.
Legendary stuff.
You know?
Yeah.
20 years, literally 20 years later, I'm here doing music, and Dub G, Harley James Rose,
Shout out Dub G.
invites me to do a video with him. So I sang the hook. It's a cool song. It's out on YouTube. Anyways, he hired Dedos to breakdance in the video. So I'm singing, and Dedos is in the background, and I look back, and I'm just like, that's Dedos, right? And then I reminded him, like, hey, you remember that time? And he's like, oh, yeah, that was a long time ago. But, yeah, he's like, Bagley. But, how many shows did those guys
Oh,
do?
Oh, yeah, big
They travel the
time,
world
big
doing what
time.
they do.
Dude,
So,
that's
but it was cool how the revolving
a,
door
yeah,
of like,
that's a full circle moment. Yeah, for sure.
of the artistry, all the culture, the hip-hop culture. It's pretty cool like
So
that.
you're kind of rooted in hip hop, your origins in music.
For sure. I got 3 older brothers, too, so
All the good
Yeah.
stuff. 80s and 90s hip hop.
everything.
And when did you start writing?
I started doing poetry when I was like in elementary.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started writing songs in like junior high, more or less. And then I still wrote songs just for myself, for my girl or whatever. And
Of course.
and then I bumped into an old friend when I was living out in Calgary, and he had a studio, and we went in there and we started recording. This was 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Then I moved back to BC, and then one of my friends singing. She's like, "Oh, I'm doing a show. Can you play guitar?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "You want to play one of your songs?" I'm like, "I guess."
Boom.
In
That was
Kelowna,
it.
and then
Spark.
after that, it was just like
The
I came
spark
out
was
here.
lit.
Addicted.
Yeah,
That's what happens.
and then I just buried myself in trying to meet as many as people as I could, and
Yeah.
just kind of.
do you like it up on stage?
I do. I love it on stage, but there's certain energies though, like you gotta kind of understand, like when you play, like playing with the Salsa Collective with Harvey Paris's band, and it's a sold out show, and everyone's dancing, and there's 4 MCs, and there's 10, 12 people on stage.
Totally different vibe.
Fucking insane.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's crazy.
That's like a real artist moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
Some cool festivals with
Yeah.
those boys, man. We had a good run.
How do you feel you fit in that space?
We had a good diverse of MCs. Like one was really good rapper and singer. He's from Guatemala, Christian. Martinez. He goes by Cinez. He's been doing it for a minute. Tugstar brings that like shaggy
It's live.
vibe. Like he's great. And then like I did my R&B type of.
Yeah.
So we had a good mix of
That's a good
MCs and
mix.
like us three with verses and hooks, and it's great. There's 2 EPs out on Spotify.
Oh, that's dope.
Check it out. Yeah, it's
dope.
really cool. It's a fusion, dancehall and salsa.
Yeah.
So it's
That
a
was pretty good
salsa
together,
hall.
salsa and dancehall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
played that
They're
shit.
able to
hand.
mix the two, and it came out dope.
So what do you think you have to? So when you perform solo on stage, what do you think you have to change in your style when you're in fronting a band?
I need to do more dance moves, man.
So you actually.
Oh,
you actually
man.
I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure out what dance moves I
Dude,
want
that's
to
the
do.
hardest thing to
Right.
do, man. The dance moves and singing and rapping and shit, that's
No, I
hard.
know, but eventually they started thinking that we were a boy band.
Oh, see, there's a fine line, right? There's a fine line because
Yeah.
I remember
Dude.
back in the day getting the moves off of music videos,
Yeah,
right? So
of
you watch
course.
the music videos and they're all choreographed,
Yeah.
right? And you get the moves off of there and then you try them and it's like, no,
It
that's
doesn't
not,
look right.
yeah, no, it's not good. It's not
Yeah,
good.
I
That's
think
hard.
You master a couple of them when you're a high schooler, and that's it.
No, yeah, fuck that's it. Drop the needle, like drop the needle.
I could never do that.
I did drop the needle, man. Yeah, that was like my go-to, and I hurt my knee.
Because when people see a white boy do it, they're like, "Oh, white boy, drop the needle."
That's so funny. So did you take lessons or anything?
For what, dancing?
Yeah, dance.
No.
lessons? No. So how do you learn then? What do you do?
YouTube.
You just watch videos, right?
Breaking #1, Electric Boogaloo.
Dude,
Yeah.
see?
Beat Street.
Going
Like,
back.
Beat Street.
like
Foundation
those
right
movies were
there.
like just like on replay when we were kids.
Yeah.
But now you're like mid-30s, right? Early 30s? Early 30s?
Mid-30s.
Mid-30s? Okay. So is it harder to do that shit? Like the
Yeah,
breakdancing?
the
Like,
last
come
wedding
on.
I went to, I walked out with, I got a big hole in my crotch.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
doing
bro.
a
Like,
limo.
it's...
I think I pulled a hernia.
Oh, yeah, right?
Like, no, in my butt cheek or something.
Oh.
A whole week, man.
Yeah. No,
It's
see, you
terrible.
can't do it,
Can't
right?
do no more, dude. Now you just do like the pop up.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And then that's it.
You
Then,
could do a little two-step.
yeah.
Do a little two-step.
Two-step, and that's it.
That's safe.
little moonwalk slide, and then you're out of there. That's
Crip walk.
it.
Crip walking's always, That shit's hard to
Yeah,
learn,
you gotta
though.
Spell it out.
Yeah, it's too hard to learn. It's too,
much. I fucking hate that
it's
crip
too
walk
much
stuff.
anxiety.
So the boy band thing makes sense, but you guys are all you guys are all grown ups. Like it's all grown men in this
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys talked about any choreography that you want to put together?
No, it was more or
It's
less
tough.
just
What have you feeling in the moment?
yeah. I mean, like everyone had their time to shine, and like, when they were shining, you kind of step back
Yeah,
and
yeah,
let
yeah.
them do their thing,
Yeah.
and just let everyone have a taste of what's going down, right? And but we'd interact a lot with the stage with the
crowd.
With the crowd.
So important, man.
Yeah, and we
So
bring
important.
people up to like who can, drop it low or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
and,
yeah. That's what you got to do.
get a little
Interact.
merch for them, or like some tickets or something for the next show. But
Yeah.
that's how we kind of
Yeah.
made
Because that's
the crowd
important,
move.
man. Like you connect with somebody when you're live on stage. You connect with somebody. You have them forever, man.
Mm-hmm.
They'll never forget that experience, right? Doesn't matter what it is. You do a call and response. You throw something, they catch it. All those little things that happen to people, it affects them permanently, man.
Yeah, it
For
does.
sure.
It changes them for sure. So it sounds like you were like born with music.
Well, yeah, for sure.
So you kind of had no choice but to create music.
It was just in me. Like I remember like my parents used to host these Bible studies, and like my dad's playing guitar, singing, everyone's singing. My 2 sisters are like hitting the jamborees and the maracas and shit, and I'm just like trying to sing along or
Yeah.
whatever. And like that was
Always there.
That was our regimen. That was what we did.
It's crazy,
You
man.
know?
Yeah.
It's different when you grow up in a household like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like there's a real. Was your family really close? Everyone really close?
Yeah, we're all very close.
Right. So that creates the closeness, right? Is that, and it doesn't always have to be religion. It's just anything that the family moves together with, right? You always have these close families. You see a lot of families are just separates. They're a bunch of lone wolves living together, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's about creating.
Church really did that, man. Bible study, I did all that stuff too. You
Yeah.
know, like growing up,
It's
not
a-
with my family.
It creates
but
mad core memories.
For sure.
It does.
Yeah. Well, see, I think it's a little different. Like you took when I hear you talk about religion, you talk about it from a place of love, and it sounds like you're coming from a place of kindness, and I think a lot of the old school belief systems when it comes to brown families is that they kind of force it upon their kids. They don't teach it to you with love. They don't teach you that God loves you. They basically teach you everything you do, you're going to go to hell. The only thing you can do is what the book says.
Yeah.
And as a kid growing up, you kind of like always fear God, right? You don't learn to love God. You just learn to fear him, like, oh fuck, he's watching all the time.
Very true.
Kind of thing, right? So did your parents teach the religion to you with love?
Nah.
You got to say I'm going to hell for everything.
Yeah, no, we would recite some verses, and like, like at the end of a Bible study or whatever, we were kids, we had to like kind of mention something of the lesson, right? And like, I know, like we were limited to like being outside.
For sure.
We were limited to the type of music.
Yeah.
Me breakdancing or whatever.
Yeah.
It was kind of frowned upon.
Yeah, no kidding. It was. It really
and
was.
like me having comic books or like, it's like that's not right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, it was kind of, you're kind of walking on eggshells, you know what I mean? But as soon as I turned 18, my parents were just like, okay, we did our best.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, there's some beer in the fridge, son, go grab a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
beers. I was like, let's do that.
Oh, that's pretty good. So they were like realistic. They
Yeah.
tried to just give you a solid foundation in life in which to kind of go from, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're still very, very Christian.
Yeah.
But I mean, they could probably see it coming as far as you being into all of this different kind of things. To them, it's like alien. So I'm sure they saw it coming. Like, oh, he's gonna be tattooed up and and stuff. I'm sure they saw it coming.
But do you tell them like Jodeci? Like Jodeci, they're all good church going boys.
They are,
right? They
until
were.
Casey started dropping his pants.
Yeah, he got a little. Right, freaking out.
All
Think
the way,
about freaking
everything.
you.
Like, yo, who needs to see
Yeah,
this?
man, he's.
And Casey never did a leg day, so it's not like he's
Yeah,
showing it.
yeah.
You got no quads or calves,
Nah.
skin and bones.
He missed leg day all the time.
Keep those pants on, yo.
Yeah, I think his family was.
But he is one of the greatest. So you were exposed to a lot of Christian music growing up?
Yeah, for sure.
What was the first devil's music that you heard that
Gangster
began to change your thinking?
Oh, my brother had
some good.
A mix of this cassette, and he had "Beautiful People" from Marilyn Manson.
Oh, crazy!
And when he wasn't in his room, I went into his room because I was like, that song's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like 9 years old or something, 10 years old.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Played it, and it's just like, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's
and then it's just like, I'm just fucking vibing to it, shaking my head, I start headbanging. Who comes through the door? My brother Eric. He's like, hey, get out of here. I'm like, shit. So, he didn't want me to hear that shit. Right? Like, I was just a little kid. But
yeah, it's such a weird thing to decide when you get exposed to it.
Yeah.
Because I have an older brother, and I remember being exposed to Fuck the Police when I was like 11 or 12. It's like, what? You can say "fuck the police"? Like, I had no idea that you could say that out loud. You're gonna go to jail.
Yeah.
So when I first heard it, I was like, "Wow, this is amazing." Yeah, she's saying it. And then I'm thinking, for my own kids, when do I expose them to certain artists? But they have the internet. You have a kid.
Yeah, I got 2 boys.
How old?
13 and 10.
Oh, wow.
How do you feel about exposing them to the entertainment
they're
that's out
exposed to so much.
It's hard to stop it, right?
It's inevitable now with the internet and shit like that.
It's hard to stop them. I mean, what can you do?
You can't. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of mention it, but like my 13-year-old son, he's doing pretty good. Like if I'm playing a song that has some profanity, and he's like, we shouldn't be showing him this.
Yeah. He's playing.
Yeah, very
He's
good.
playing the wise old man, eh?
And I'm like, kind of like,
Oh,
music is art.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Mostly, unless you're Bobby Shmurda. No low blows. I'm just making a point
Nah,
here.
it's for real,
Do you
though, man.
do you think like though kids know the difference now? Like, you know, when we were growing up, we listened to NWA or some gangster rap. We like take it for real serious. Like, oh my god, this is so not our life, right? This shit is happening in some, you know, part of the world.
like,
Compton, like holy Compton. Like I drove through Compton once, and I was just like,
Didn't
it's
stop,
not so
though.
bad.
Didn't
Well,
stop.
yeah, I did. I
Oh,
did
okay.
stop, and a cop pulled me over, and he's like, son, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I'm trying to use the phone, trying to get to Hard Rock Cafe. My girl wants to go to freaking Hard Rock Cafe. He's like, you shouldn't be in here. And they gave me a police escort out of Compton. Yeah.
Holy.
And I was like, everyone's so nice. I'm like, drug dealer pulls up to the phone booth and he's looking at me. He's doing his things. Another guy walks by. You know what I mean? Like everyone's
phone booth days.
dude, it was phone booth. That's how old it was. But do you think kids know? Like, do you think they're like, this is just music now? Like, this word's really not that means doesn't really mean anything now.
I don't think they do,
No,
man.
I think it's the opposite.
I think it's opposite. Like they're more affected now.
Yeah.
Look how much depression is in a lot of this new urban shit that all these people are
It's
saying.
pretty
It's
depressing.
like, guys got tattoos that they're lonely or fucking sad or some
Yeah,
shit. It's
yeah.
like it's a marketable thing.
Yeah, like
And
that. What's that? Triple X Tentacion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a song that's titled is "All My Friends Are Dead."
Yeah.
It's like what?
Yeah.
Does he,
And all those guys with the little in front of their name, right? Little Xanax, little Flip, little
It
all
just
these
feels
little.
so tiny.
Yeah, they're so little. They're like, fucking, I'm small. Fucking, I'm gonna just work it. Right? They're just angry. Right? And it's funny because they all get the shit tattooed on them. They're like, and then you see kids. I see kids locally with tattoos on their face. Like that, I think is worse. The worst influence from music that we've had. Never mind the going out there and shooting somebody or whatever. Getting your face tattooed has been the worst influence.
Unless you're Mike Tyson. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
but he didn't care. He was Mike Tyson. He is
that was
just,
a cold,
he's-
cold binge gone.
who's
bad.
gonna say anything to him? Who's gonna say anything to Mike Tyson?
Yeah. No. Like okay. So like the thing that gets me is like let's say Tekashi for example.
Yeah.
Right? Never in hip hop would someone that's a snitch be
Yeah.
openly accepted in hip hop. No generation of hip hop. You start 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. Never would a snitch be openly accepted.
Yeah.
You might hear rumors. Oh yeah, he snitched.
Yeah,
blah, blah, he
maybe,
kept it in
yeah.
the closet. But this dude openly says he's a snitch. Then he goes on the Angie Martinez show and says, I don't even care about hip hop. I don't even care about the music. He's like, do you listen to my lyrics? You know I don't care. Like, he
Yeah.
openly says this. And the dude streams millions of numbers.
Yeah.
Millions of numbers. So I think we've created a culture of, like, this kind of cowardly, I don't have any real life oppression in my life
Yeah.
kind of people. And they live the music. Like, you know, this Molly Percocet song with Future.
It's really crazy. to have-
Everyone's yelling at the top of their lungs. That's the hook. Percocet.
Yeah.
Molly Percocet is the hook for a song.
Wow.
And
crazy.
everyone's yelling it like, this is the jam. Oh, this is so good. Like,
Good.
I think we've created a culture. I shouldn't say we, but culture has now turned into like a culture of idiots. Like, there's a mad influx of
They're
idiots.
dumbing down the society, man.
Big time. And
The
music is a
youth,
part
the
of
youth,
it.
they're dumbing down the youth.
Yeah.
So then, how do you navigate through this? Like, how do you come up?
Send the kids to boarding school. Man.
No, but I mean, you as
Lock
an
them up in some with the Ukrainians up at the
Yeah,
ski
yeah.
hills, man. They'll teach them some fucking shit.
no, I mean, as you as an artist, like, how do you get through this? You know what I mean? Like, how do you come up through a time like this?
Yeah.
This is equivalent, in my opinion, to like steroids in sports versus non-steroid users in sports.
Interesting take.
Right? It's how do you come up over that? How do you get up over these guys that are just running over, like, you know, other grown men, you know, smaller guys running over big guys with crazy amount of athletic ability that's just beyond human, some of these guys, right? Like, how does the regular athlete compete? He gets washed out and gets forced to use it. Like, how do musicians get up over this thing that is music culture? Like, how do you do it, man?
I think you gotta find inspiration in other artists that you believe in that are dope, and see the impact they make. Because we still got guys like J. Cole, we still got Kendrick who put out a fucking monster album just a couple weeks ago. You got dudes like Joey Badass and Saba. You got all these, like, for me personally being an MC, there's a whole bunch of lyricists out there that make great music, that tour the world, that do well, that sell merch, that do all these things, and they make the kind of music they like. I think if you want to be a mainstream artist, you're gonna have to sacrifice.
Sell out, you mean?
You have to sell out.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
Unless you're undeniable.
Like Jay-Z?
Perfect example.
Jay-Z can release a pop album and no one would bat an eye, right? They would call it genius, right?
He never was.
Is he at that point? No, but let's just say he releases a pop song. Maybe he does something with... didn't he do one with Justin Timberlake?
He did a whole
He
album.
did Suit and Tie, right? He did the whole thing with him, right?
Yeah, a whole tour.
And so that was a little poppy on his part.
Okay, if you listen to it though,
I did, yeah.
Timbaland and Pharrell did the production. So it's hip hop production
Yeah.
with JT's weak ass voice. I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
not a JT fan.
No,
And then Hove just dropping brilliant 16s. It's like a day in the life of Jay-Z.
Do you think he just showed up and said, "Oh shit, I got to work with this guy," and just shows up and is like, "I'm just gonna say anything. Fuck it, get the hell out of here." Yeah, more drops it, says it, 16 bars. Like in one of those songs, he even counts like, "Only got 16 bars left." Shit, think of something, right? Like it feels like that's what he does every time. What was that song with the Shooting Star? Did he do the Shooting Star song with?
No, that's Nicki Minaj you're talking about.
No, he did. There was one song where he said like, "Only got 8 bars left." And then he's counting down his bars as his lyrics. And I was like, fuck, man, that's genius. Like, he didn't even try.
I think you might be talking about Umbrella remix with Rihanna.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm not a real big fan.
Are you a Jay-Z fan?
Yeah, I mean, like I grew up listening to a few songs. Like I, the one song I loved was Sunshine.
Sunshine, yeah.
That song
Babyface.
was like so good. Like it had this really cool beat, and I could do a lot of pop and lock too. And I remember.
Yeah, that beat was like space age.
Yeah.
It's just like it just captured me, you know.
Yeah.
And Babyface on the hook.
Yeah, that was a
Doesn't
great.
sound like you're a Jay-Z fan though.
I'm not a big Jay-Z fan.
Yeah.
Only because I was in jail the entire career of Jay-Z, pretty much. Right? So I never really got to listen to Jay-Z, man.
Or build a connection to his
Yeah, I never really got to.
Yeah.
No, I was like pre-98, dude. I cut off everything at 98, so everything after 98
Damn.
was over for me.
Dude, Jay-Z's a god.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
God MC. In my mind, God MC. I don't think anybody could do it better. I don't think anyone has done it better or will do it better for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Dude, the man's 50, man.
Yeah, he's really
Drops
good.
bars whenever he wants, and everyone's like,
Doesn't even try. Doesn't even try.
He has a good cadence for sure. Like his voice sounds like he's still fucking 20.
yeah.
You know what I mean? He'll be like that real genuine type of, you know, the way he just carries himself.
Is there
with his
freestyle
voice.
R&B?
Yeah, I mean, there is. Yeah, they used to have him here in Vancouver
Dude, me and my
called The Stew.
Daga
The
over
Stew.
there.
Yeah.
Daga over there used to be a king freestyle R&B.
Really?
Monster. Yeah.
Who's that?
My homie Daga, we used to make music together back in the day. Passed away like 8-9 years ago now. Dude, he was one of the best singers I've ever heard in my life.
Daga.
Daga.
Here
Yeah.
from Vancouver?
No, he's from Toronto, but he moved out here and we connected and we you know Queasy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so me, Queez, and Daga used to be in a group together.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, called the On Point Collective.
Tight.
And we all sang, we all rapped, and this guy, man, he had some shit.
Dope.
I'm telling you, if he was still here, he'd be a fucking superstar. You know, there's some people just walk in a room and they just change the energy in the room. He was one of those dudes.
Well,
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Sweet.
R.I.P. for sure. Yeah.
All right,
Rest in peace.
let me give you a couple scenarios.
Okay.
I'm gonna test your R&B
yeah.
knowledge here. Okay. I want you to tell me the R&B song that you would have playing in any of these scenarios. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm gonna let Elite come up with some as well. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you just had an amazing day, and you're gonna go drive home from wherever it is you are. You're gonna drive. You're alone in the car. What R&B song do you put on? Just had an amazing day. Everything went right.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'm feeling good about myself, right? And you got any track. What track would you put on?
I would put, if I was feeling good from the day, one song that really pumps me up, I would pump Marvin Gaye, Got to Give It Up.
God, it's one of my favorite all-time fucking
So
songs,
good.
man.
That song is just
Love that
like,
song. I play that song at parties. Yeah.
I used to go out to party days and hang around. So good.
It's so good. I play that
Yeah.
song at some parties, and people get a little weirded out. They don't really know the significance of that song, man. Like how
I mean, it's been
you feel it.
remade a couple times poorly.
Did it?
And been sampled. And yeah, not too long ago, the hook was used in a hip hop track.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't done very well though. But okay, so you're setting the stage. Love of your life.
Oh shit.
Marriage proposal.
Oh, what?
Yeah, see, I
You're
don't
not
think
married, are you?
that's a whole lot of thinking right
Yeah.
there. Married.
Yes.
What if I was sitting in stage
Yeah.
and it was my girlfriend's birthday? Can we use that?
Okay.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good
I
one.
put Jeremiah birthday sex.
Hint, hint.
It's a win-win.
Win-win.
It's your birthday and I know you wanna ride out.
Yes.
What a classic.
That's a great song.
You know, I love that effortless shit. Just
Yeah.
seems effortless, like
Just
no big deal.
effortless. All right, so you're
Got it
out on
from
a
my daddy.
you're out with a bunch of friends or from work, maybe, right? Like you're just out whatever, chilling at a bar, at a pub, and karaoke comes on,
Okay.
and they're like, "Yo, Tiago, get up there and sing." That guy hands you the R&B catalog. What song are you singing? What's your go-to singing R&B song?
Yeah, first of all, I'd probably talk to the owner of the bar because I don't sing for free.
Okay, What's it?
I'm fucking.
Business.
No,
Businessman.
I would probably sing. I would go straight for a. I love that Santana song, Maria Maria.
Ooh.
Because
Oh,
it's like
wow.
vibey. Maria Maria.
That's good, man. What a great
She
song. I'm
reminds me of a West Side Story.
gonna play that this weekend. at
So
the
good.
party.
Woo.
It's
What
so
about you?
good.
Do you have one? Do you have a karaoke go-to?
Usher, Nice and Slow.
Damn, just like that.
Yeah.
Wow,
I'll tell
Pretty
you
good.
why. This is a
Sexy.
fucked up
that's
story.
sexy. Fucking
So the place that I work is just Asian people. Literally,
Yeah.
just Asian people.
Yes, I've been there.
Chinese, Korean, Thai,
Yeah.
Vietnamese.
Yeah.
I'm the only brown person. And whenever we do team outings, we always go to restaurants where they serve stuff like pig intestines
Yes.
and duck's feet and all stuff I don't eat. And then when they want to do the party afterwards, they want to go karaoke because
Of
they're all
course.
Asian.
Yeah.
I don't do karaoke, but I go because it's, you know,
Yeah.
watch these guys. And they sing these Chinese songs, Vietnamese songs, whatever. And they're always like, yo, you, come on,
Your
sing,
turn,
sing,
your
sing,
turn.
sing, sing. Like, you guys don't even know the songs that I want to sing. Like, you don't know any of them. What's
Yeah,
the point?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, just do it. So I go to Nice and Slow. And I'm thinking at least a couple of these dudes that are like, you know, mid-20s might have heard it, might have known it before. Nobody.
Wow.
8 people in the room, nobody.
So they're like, "Did you write that song?
Yeah.
Good song. Is that your own
What
song?"
was it? The Humpty Dumpty, the Digital Underground, right?
No, Usher, Nice and Slow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I did Humpty Hump, they would be totally lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I'll do Music Soul Child. Just Friends? Because that's a jam. Nothing.
Never. They don't know that.
Nothing.
That's too deep.
Like, this is ridiculous. But you know what song they do know?
What? Shorty get low, low, low.
Apple bottom jeans,
Jeans,
and the boots
boots
with
with
the
the
fur.
fur. Yeah, I called it.
And they all know it.
Oh, yeah.
Every word. I'm like, really? This
Yeah.
is the one
Dude, I'm a
hip-hop-ish
DJ, yeah.
song that you-
100%. I play that song. I rap that song at my gigs.
I must love that.
I'm
People
gonna
must
I'm gonna
love
rap
that.
it this weekend.
People must love that because you look straight white. They're like, oh, this white boy got rhythm.
My go-to song is Valerie by Amy Winehouse and Mark Ronson.
Damn.
And if you're asking me to slow down a song, When We Were Young by Adele. Those are
That's a
my
good
two.
song.
Those are my two good songs.
Good song.
Yeah,
Amy
I sing it.
Winehouse, eh?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I love
You
that
could
song,
like
Valerie.
sing it.
Yeah, I can sing it. Yeah, yeah. Just get
Gotta
out
give you
there.
some covers.
Fuck. Yeah, we'll be singing it this weekend at the party at the 50th.
Chads.
Yes.
Very
Tight.
fun.
Yeah.
It's funny because he got hired to do a gig
Oh.
for DJing at one of my friends' parties.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so another scenario.
You better not make a fool out of this.
No, hell no. I've done thousands of events. All right, here's another scenario for you.
Oh, okay. Shit.
We're gonna switch it up because
All right.
Brother Love over there went love, but I'm gonna switch it up.
R&B singer by heart.
You got some you got to take care of some business. Yeah, you don't want to, but you have to. And right? And you're like, you just got to get yourself in the zone because right now there's about to be a battle, and you're battling for whatever it is that you're fighting for. What is the R&B song you put on? or the song you would put on.
Okay, does it have to be R&B?
No, it doesn't have to be R&B. It's probably Beautiful People, Marilyn Man.
That's a good one.
Right?
The fight. Oof.
Yeah, like Get Ready, like the song that gets you in the zone. Maybe it's even like sports. Like, do you play sports or anything?
Yeah,
What do you play?
I play soccer, basketball.
Play soccer, basketball. Okay, so big soccer match, right?
Yeah.
Big foot match. What do you put on?
I'll go with Work by A$AP Rocky.
Oh.
Or sorry, A$AP Ferg.
A$AP
A$AP Ferg.
Ferg. Yeah.
A$AP
And
Ferg.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, he featured a few other people in that song.
Yeah. He is my favorite ignorant rapper.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think I see that post.
Yeah.
A few months back. You're right.
He really is.
He's amazing, man.
Not
That guy-
conscious. All he talks about is women and bottles and drugs.
Yep.
And he's always like a half a second behind the beat. But something about his voice, man, his cadence is just he just
So
knows.
nuts.
He just knows, man. What about yours? What's your go-to?
My
amp you
fight
up?
song?
Yeah. Super interesting.
Shit, man, that's a good question. I've never thought about it. I just
You
fucking made that up
actually
for him.
fought. You actually fought. So what would be your hype track.
Yo, I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. What would I play? Apple bottom jeans, boots with the, boots with the
man.
fur. I don't even.
What is it, the twerking competition? Right?
I don't know. Probably like I don't know, some crazy like
You go rock.
hype up song.
Oh, you go hip hop.
Yeah, I go like hip hop. Probably NWA. To be real honest with you, maybe some Ghetto Boys back in the day, right?
Good one.
Okay, I want to do one.
All right, nice.
Okay, so you're fed up with your boss,
Oh,
all right, and you're about to roll up to the office
yeah.
and say what you want and fucking quit and
Yeah.
bounce, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What song you gonna put on before
Oh,
you get
that's
there?
good. That's a good one.
You know,
Damn. What's my hype up to quit or tell my boss off song?
tell him to tell.
Damn.
Fuck right up.
It's a tough one. I would probably play. Man, it would have to be something Pockish. It would have to be like, you know what? Even Pac and Jodeci. How do you want it? How do you want it? How do you feel? Coming up like a nigga in the trash can, right?
Totally messed up the lyrics. But it's
Right.
okay.
I might play that one. I might be like, yeah, man, just get in it, right? Pac comes on that song. It's
Dude, my fight song is Hail Mary all day.
Hail Mary.
All day.
That's a good one.
I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
Yep.
The quit song would be DNA though. Kendrick.
Yeah.
I got royalty inside my DNA. Makes me want to mash on something.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's
Yeah,
a
for
really
sure.
good one.
Have you heard the new Kendrick?
Yeah, I was. I'm about halfway through it.
That's what I am too. I'm like halfway through. I thought I was through it.
No, but
It's a long album.
It's a long album.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's very abstract for sure.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been hard for me to like critique it because I feel like it's like
All over the place.
and it's more. I think it's like we kind of had this conversation the other day. I feel like it's more than music. I feel like he gave us like a fucking statement piece because he talks about his aunt being trans. He talks about his mom being abused. He talks about himself being sex addict, cheating on his wife, and all these things. He talks about his dad not being a great dad. It's like a real confessional piece of work, right? And there's really been no other hip hop artist, probably outside of Pac, that has like opened up like
Vulnerable.
family relationships like this in like a really open way.
Eminem.
Yeah, but I think with M, it's like a little more
Trashy.
and destructive and angry, and like he just wants to burn the whole family bridge
Yeah.
down, and like
Yeah.
he's obviously brilliant. There's obviously
Yeah.
a lot of thought put into it, but I feel like he just wants to blow the world up.
Yeah.
But with Kendrick, I feel like he wants you to like. I feel like he's almost like teetering on becoming like a figure beyond music. Like he's kind of, he won the Pulitzer. He kind of already did that. But with this album, I feel like he's moving on to something different because have you guys heard that Auntie Diaries yet off the album?
No.
So this is a song about his aunt being transgender.
Oh, I did hear that one.
Yeah, and it's crazy because he goes through the story about how when she was younger, she would get all the girls, and the uncles would all be mad, like, yo, why is she getting all the girls kind of thing. And he kind of gives you like a different way to look at how men react to a male relative that's going to be a female
Yeah.
and what that reaction is like. Because our cultures aren't good with that shit.
Yeah.
Indian culture, black culture, every ethnic culture, they're not good with homosexuality and trans behavior. They're not with it.
Yeah.
So he kind of gives you a perspective that most ethnic people aren't ready for. So I feel like he's moving beyond the music. So it's been really hard to like critique any of the songs, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the next level for rappers is that rappers kind of have to realize that, you know, we started with no respect. You started with no respect and saying that this was a fad and it's going to be gone. And you had to fight through that for like 30, 40 years of that, of hearing that, right? And so now that rap is here and it's not going anywhere, these artists have a responsibility to become more than that. And they have this opportunity to become more than just a singer and a rapper now. Yeah. Right? They're going to actually start taking in. And I lost the $10,000 Will Smith bet. Thank God that guy doesn't live in the country. Like, fuck, man, I don't want to pay. I can't pay it. Right? Well, I made a bet to this friend of mine like years ago that Will Smith was going to become president one day. Right? And then he fucking slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. And I'm like, oh, there goes my bet. Because he's got the money. I know. And I was just like, dude, man, he's got the money. He's going to pay. Now I'm like, geez, he hasn't called me anything, so I'm like, maybe he's dead. You know what I mean? I'm like,
we all know that's a gimmick, right?
You think so?
Absolutely.
You think so?
What do you think the play is?
What is the play, Tiago? Tell me, because I don't know, man. I think that was
the
meltdown.
Oscars, man.
Tune into the Oscars, right? Who's gonna get slapped?
They're
next
actors,
year?
dude. That's what they do.
Really?
And also, like, if it really was real. Come on, Will Smith is a smart guy. He wouldn't fucking risk it all for
weird part.
For a little pride, you know? Like,
that's the weird part.
He's a bigger man. He's always been the bigger man.
Always.
But he's also, from the beginning of his career, been called a pussy and been called a wuss.
Yeah.
Right? And be called soft in hip hop. Right? You think about that.
Sure.
No one's had any respect for Will Smith until Muhammad Ali role. Until Muhammad Ali basically is when he actually earned some respect, I feel, from people. Because none of his music really got respected, ever.
I think Summertime.
Summertime,
okay,
yes.
So here's the problem with Summertime now, right? I don't know if you guys have heard, but Rakim.
That's like the one song I like.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
Man,
it's great, man.
Yeah.
So if you listen to Summertime and the cadence that he uses, he jacks Rakim's cadence.
Oh, yeah.
And the voice and the delivery. So somebody was asking Rakim, he's like, hey, did you write Summertime? He's like, no. He's like, I'm still mad at Will Smith about that.
Really?
Because Will's whole purpose was to write the song to sound like Rakim. And if you listen to it, here it is. Smooth, like trance, boom. Just a little break from the norm. It sounds like Rakim. Almost exactly like Rakim.
Yeah.
So I think that takes away a little bit from that song. Reputation-wise.
Yeah.
But dude, you can't deny the guy's like hit-making ability, man.
Yeah.
Miami, Getting Jiggy with It, even Men in Black. These are all corny songs.
He knows the formula, man.
Yeah, but he's so worldwide, man. First rapper to get a Grammy.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Like the whole calling him soft thing is so weird to me.
It's happened his whole life, and obviously you're gonna burst at the seams if you hear that too long, right? There's gonna be a time when you're just gonna like lose it.
Enough is enough.
His wife doesn't respect him at all. You can tell she doesn't respect him. Like, think about it. When she had her first statement that she said coming out of that thing was, "This is a time for us to heal, and let's all heal together." What? You should have said. You should have defended him.
To do that.
Yeah, she didn't defend him. If you look at it, right? So she obviously doesn't love him. You know what I mean?
Dude, she also said that she never wanted to marry him.
Yeah, she wanted Tupac's dick.
Oh,
A little hoe.
She said it on the Red Table Talk. She's like, I never wanted to marry him.
Did she?
She also said getting married, the day of my marriage was the worst day of my life.
Oh,
She said she cried for hours before she came out and married him.
Damn.
He really wanted that woman, eh? He really wanted that girl.
He was obsessed.
Okay, hold on. Let me say something. Now, I never believed that he did it. And yesterday, my friend showed me the exact scenario of how Chris Rock dissed his woman and Will coming up to stage and slapping him. It's an old 70s movie. Exact same scenario.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like
it brought everything to light. I fucking knew it. It's all a gimmick, man.
Well, and the crazy thing is...
really?
I will get the clip and I'll send it
I
to
would
you.
love to see
So
this.
Sean-
It's not dubbed either, man. This is for real. Like, these guys are like... Sorry.
No, it's all good. So Sean Wayans was hosting a show, like MTV Movie Awards or something in like the early 2000s. And he was talking about how he was like acting like Chris Rock, dissing all the celebrities. And then all the celebrities got pissed off and they all came up on stage and they beat him down.
Oh.
like as a skit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just weird how these kind of things all kind of came to fruition. But you think Chris Rock is willing to take a slap and risk his reputation?
I mean, Will doesn't really hit that hard, man. That doesn't look like a impactful slap. Like, when they do those competitions, the guy stand on one side, he stands
yeah.
here. Like, that's when you
A
know.
slap.
And your fucking head does one of these, right?
Yeah.
I
But
think
Chris was just like,
yeah, it takes it. Wow.
Yeah.
it's like he's been hit a couple times,
Dude, if that was
He knew how to blend it in. So.
bro, if that was fucking fixed, I'm out of the game. I can't possibly
bet on
top
this one
that. No, but I couldn't possibly get into Hollywood and be dealing with that. Like, who would want to get into that? Means Hollywood has that much fucking control on what you see
100%.
and what you are forced to believe. No, you will believe this and you will talk about this.
So you know how
So
we're
we
gonna
don't talk
know,
about that other shit.
is whatever Will's next project is. Then we'll know. Because I heard like he lost his production deals that he had with Sony. He had like 2 movie production deal with Sony and another one with another company and a few with Netflix.
Yeah.
So I think the bounce back is going to be important. Then we'll really know if he's playing Fresh Prince.
Crazy.
Or is he actually like
That's
just
just crazy. You blew my
overreacted.
mind, Tiago. Tiago just throwing that out there like that. That's insane. Right? What other conspiracies are out there?
Oh,
What's your favorite conspiracy?
I don't want to say it.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so dark.
Is it COVID related?
No, it's
Okay.
it's
Alien?
Asian and Caucasian related.
Asian and Caucasian.
Oh, you're revealing too much, man.
I know. I don't want to say it. I'm good.
Oh, I know.
Wow. What about aliens?
No,
you believe in
I'm just-
aliens?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You guys
Oh,
know-
because
you guys know
I get where you're going. Okay.
This-
So you do believe in aliens?
I do believe in aliens
All
for
right.
sure.
Do you believe? This is kind of a tough question. No, I can't ask you that because that goes against everything that I want to ask you because I know what you are. I know what you believe, right? So, what is more realistic in this world? The fact that there are many different gods and relations, and
Like
gods
Jesus?
like Jesus, Buddha. What's the Indian one? What's the Indian one?
Vishnu, Rama.
Vishnu, right?
Yeah.
Is there more reality that there are those, or that there are aliens? In your opinion,
Aliens, 100%.
aliens, right? Because the physical proof that we basically have. Wow, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But
I dig it.
You still have some space for religion.
Yeah.
Do you think they're the
Sure.
same
Uh,
in a slightly way?
they
'Cause-
could be. They could be the aliens walking on Earth, man.
Facts.
Right.
They could have did all those, turned the water into wine and,
Yeah.
the little basket of fish to feed hundreds and thousands of people or whatever.
So you
They
keep your
coulda- they
thinking
coulda
open.
done it. Yeah, I'm very open-minded. Yeah, I don't just say, oh, stay on this path and I'm going to believe in Christ and that's it. That's the only thing that happens.
Yeah.
I'm very open to everything else because you can't just turn a blind eye to the pyramids and the Mayan hieroglyphics and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And, what they're finding now too, up in the Arctic.
Yeah. Yes.
They found pyramids in the freaking Arctic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a real deal. Like,
Oh, the ice is melting now. We're like, oh, that giant iceberg's a pyramid.
Well, they found some in the Amazon too.
Yeah, in Amazon,
Yeah.
right?
I believe it.
Planting landing stations or whatever these things
Yeah,
are
with this, didn't you have this new lidar technology where they can see through the forest?
through the forest. Yeah.
And they've discovered pyramids just sitting in the Amazon that we've never seen before.
Crazy, eh?
So, okay, have you had this kind of conversation with your parents?
Nah.
No?
Oh, interesting. Now, how about the dinosaur conversation? Did you ever question why are the dinosaurs in the
No,
Bible?
we never talked about dinosaurs. We couldn't even have a dog in the house.
Oh, really?
Same,
Right?
Same.
They
Oh,
wouldn't
wow.
let an animal.
Yeah,
They're pretty straight arrow.
Straight
The
arrow.
house that you pray in, you can't have pets in.
Oh, no
Because they
kidding.
drool and stuff. And
Yeah, the parents are not like that.
yeah. Islam and Catholicism are very similar. They come
Yeah.
from the same
Crazy.
prophet, right? They're all Abrahamic faiths. But I remember having this conversation with my parents.
The alien conversation.
Alien conversation, the concept of time and space, and why the book is only 1,400 years old, but there's like millions of years of history before that.
Yeah.
Like, why now the book just shows up?
Yeah.
Like, why isn't there like a 10 million year old book still kicking around with
Yeah.
information, right?
Yeah.
And they're old school, man.
Yeah.
They don't get it as much as they want to get. Like, my mom's a nurse; she's a person of science.
Mm-hmm.
But as much as she wants to absorb the information, her faith is so strong.
Yeah.
Like, no, nothing can break my faith, kind of thing, right?
Oh wow.
It's rough.
Yep.
Wow, that's man. Yeah, that is. I mean, I grew up with a nun, right, and that was my introduction to religion. Was like, wow, seeing how someone dedicates their life. She even wore a ring on her finger. I'm like, oh, that's my wedding ring. I'm like, wedding ring? Who you married to? Jesus. I'm like, what? Or married to God? Like, yeah, man. I was like, okay. So never kissed a boy, never had like any kind of relations or of any kind. Her husband went like, and I'm like, I thought they were crazy to be real honest. I'm like, wow, this is serious. This is like, I could never reach this level of Christianity in my life. Like I could never. That's commitment, right? And she died that way. She died the same way. Going to be with my husband on her deathbed.
Peep this though. Like, as much as my parents grew up so Catholic, went to Christianity, like, when I was a little kid, I remember, I fall down, scrape my knee. My mom would come, and she'd say, sana, sana, colita de rana, si no sane ahora, sane mañana, which means, heal tail of a rat, tail of a mouse. If it doesn't heal today, it'll heal tomorrow. So, like, some witchery shit, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, like, when I was 18, I went back to El Salvador, lived with my grandma for a couple months, and my passport went missing. And I had a crazy cousin that lived in that house, too.
Oh wow.
And she called the witch doctor. Witch doctor come, did a spell and shit. Said, whoever has the passport will have a slit, will have a cut in their head. It's like some sort of a, like,
Yeah.
Marking
and,
there, yeah.
and prior to that being lost, that crazy cousin was drunk and fell, smashed his face. He had a huge it was fucking weird, dude.
Whoa.
So that's like,
It's hard not to believe.
religion
that.
is a real thing, but
Yeah.
there's some things that you can't neglect, like the history of
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard to
the
reconcile
African
that.
influence of the witcheries or whatever, voodoo, or
Yeah.
it could have been African, it could have been still mine. Mine believed in a lot of gods and
Yeah. Big time.
stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But it was that's the type of shit that I experienced too. Like,
So you have some connections to your ancestry, as far as where your people are from originally, and
I mean, mom's side is more native to the country, so Salvador. Dad's side is more European, but I stayed mostly with my mom's side, and they're very native.
Damn.
It's cool. Yeah, I did a DNA test. I'm in the
Oh,
system.
you did the
Yeah, I did.
23andMe or whatever. One of them.
It was Ancestry.com.
Oh no shit! So what did it come out at? As
55% indigenous from Central America.
boom.
I did. There was about 15 Spanish from Spain, 5 from Portuguese, and 5 from Sicilian.
Wow.
And then a bunch of like 2s and 1s of like Congolese and
Yeah.
Bosnian, Balkans, stuff like that. But I mean, more it's indigenous.
damn,
Wow,
that's
crazy.
you know what's crazy when you say it out loud. It's like colonizer and colonized, all in one
Yeah, all in one.
DNA profile. It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild because it just shows how quickly influence can spread across the planet. Because you're talking about Europe, other side of the planet from Central America, but all of these things have come together to create a person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's fucked up.
it's nutty.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also you look at your ancestors and who they had sex with and how they were like. You can go back many generations to see like, oh wow, there was taboo. That was all taboo back then. So at one point, there was some inappropriate sexual activity happening. Like, guess what mine is? Guess what my 23 came out as?
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
No, guess.
I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, guess.
I'm gonna guess you are
I know what you're gonna say.
Huh.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
Italian,
What else do you think?
Portuguese.
What? Portuguese? Crazy.
That makes sense.
None of those. Yeah, I know.
I'd say you're indigenous, maybe.
Well, close. I'm close. I have. Okay, here's the hint. I have exceptional phone skills. I'm a great phone skill person. So what would you think? I can talk you on the phone into buying shit on the
you're a
phone.
Jew.
No, close. Nigerian. Close. Yeah,
I don't know where Jew
and
is.
Irish. And
Okay.
Nigerian, yeah. So, but that's the shit you get from 23andMe. You're like, what the fuck? 26%
You're
Nigerian.
Black Irish, eh?
Yeah, dude, Black Irish.
That's what they look like.
Yeah, man.
I always wondered.
Drink beer and sell shit on the phone. Right? Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
a cool story, though, man. Do you know the history of it? I want to hear
Of
it.
the Black Irish?
Yeah.
No, I don't know the history. All I know is I don't know. You know what, man? I don't. I gotta look that shit up.
He just recently found out.
I just recently
Okay.
found all that out. I thought it was Italian my whole life. My mom fucking lied to me.
Yeah, my parents told us we were Jews.
Oh, they did?
Because my dad's side is so
Crazy.
European. Like, all his family,
Yeah.
like blonde, blue eyes. Like, there's a very big influence of Dutch, German, Jews
Sure.
in Central America.
Yeah, that's right. All this, all the escapes.
Yeah.
The Nazis.
200,000 Jews were smuggled into El Salvador during the Holocaust through one of the politicians that saved a lot of lives.
Wow.
Respect. But yeah, I don't know. My dad thought we were
So you're
Jews.
Jewish.
You know what else is crazy? Tens of thousands of Nazis were also moved to Central
Yeah,
America.
they were.
Yeah.
Which is nuts, man.
Yeah, they were.
And they have like full Nazi communities in
Yep.
some parts of South
Yeah.
America.
There's a town in El Salvador called Berlin.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, you gotta be careful that town.
Yeah, they're all Dutch and
Holy
German.
shit.
Wow.
Obviously, some indigenous, some Spanish, but like mostly
Wow.
Dutch and German. Yeah.
They just enabled war criminals.
It's crazy, dude, because there's a bar in this town in Berlin that when you go instead of a stamp, they tattoo the number on your thing.
Are you serious?
No, but that would be fucking hilarious.
Oh my god.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah, you come in, show me your number. Okay, go on in. Okay, let's ask some more important
How they
questions.
let that pass? How they let that pass and they don't let the one more thing. How do they let that pass but they don't let the bar pass? It's called the Esco bar.
Oh.
Protested, they had to change the name. I
Oh,
think.
really?
Did they change the name? Yeah, down on
That
Main
was a
Street, on East Van.
that was a pretty good name,
That's a
Esco
great
Bar.
name.
Esco bar.
Yeah.
And there was like rallies and shit. That's changed.
Wow. They removed the name? People are so soft.
And all the toilets had mirrors on the back. right? All the toilet lids were mirrors
You put those mirrors in
for
use, or what?
convenience. Okay, more important question.
All right.
What would you have done if Amber Heard crapped on your side of the bed? What would you have done? How would you have reacted to this? I know that this is, not good for mom to hear. Sorry, mom, but
Honestly,
Yeah.
how would I physically react?
yeah, like
I'd fucking puke everywhere.
Johnny's
Yeah,
taking
I'm
it pretty
sensitive
good,
to
eh?
that shit smell, dude. Like I can't do it.
Yeah, that's not good.
Like I start getting all gaggy. I would probably puke up last night's dinner if I woke up.
What
with
kind of
that
chick
type
is
of
this? Have you watched that show? Anything
That's what I'm
about
telling
it?
you, man. Hollywood fucking poisons the people, dude. Like I was gonna keep up my son and acting and stuff, and I'm glad I didn't fall through with it because there's too many dark secrets in that
So
in that
many dark
industry.
secrets.
But yeah, that's what I would do. I'd probably puke on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's really
What would you do?
If Amber Heard crapped on my bed,
Yeah.
well, instantly I would change the bed sheets. I would throw them out, right? I would probably put them in her thing somewhere.
Would you take photo evidence?
I would not call the cops or nothing. I would take the doo-doo and I would put it in some of her things, probably. I would get real, like, just real, like, sinister about it, right? Like dissecting the poop, putting a little bit in the perfume. You know what I mean? Like put some of it in her thing and other things that she had, right? I would be angry, man. She's a weird person.
Yeah, I think once she got to that point, there must have been like a pattern of behavior that led up to this eventual shitting of the bed.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
But, dude, she must have been nuts from the get-go.
She's nuts.
I don't know if you guys remember when she first got into Hollywood. She was in a Nick Cage movie. Really stupid Nick Cage movie, Riding Hard or Riding Fast or something like that. And she was like going to be the next Hollywood it girl. And then she met Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
And then she just was cool being his girlfriend.
She's gonna pay $50 million.
Now she's never going to act ever again.
No.
Her career's
No,
fucked.
I know a guy who won't work with her. He's a director, and he says a lot of people won't work with her. They're like, she's fucking insane.
Her Aquaman 2 role got cut down to 12 minutes.
Perfect.
What?
She had 47 minutes before it cut down to 12
Holy
minutes.
crap! So she got a pay cut.
She's going to be eliminated.
She's gonna be eliminated.
And this is the last time she's ever going to be a part of anything like this.
That's dumbass.
Yeah.
And I mean, okay, sidetrack, but we mentioned a couple mafia movies. We'd be remiss to not shout out Ray Liotta, passed away.
Oh man, what a legend!
Yeah.
One of the greatest of all time, man.
Best Ray Liotta movie.
Oh, for me, it's Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, really?
Hands down.
Wow, crazy. Do you remember? Do you have one? Best
I mean,
Ray.
the one I remember the most was in Goodfellas.
His Goodfellas, yeah.
He was trying to be a good daddy and stuff, right? I remember that. But he was also a rat in that movie, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He eventually ratted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's not very
just
solid
a
in
movie,
most
I
of
guess.
his movies. Most of his movies, he's a pretty shady guy. Yeah. There's that other one, a couple other mob movies. Obviously, he was
Yeah.
like, I thought he was really good in. Was he in Sopranos? Do you have a little bit of a current role?
I've never actually seen Sopranos.
Oh, really? You've never seen Sopranos?
No.
Whoa.
Am I missing out?
Nah. Yeah, I mean, it's good, but I mean, it's like long. You got to get into it, take 8-9 years off your life, right, and watch it.
Fuck that.
Right?
I tried watching it,
Yeah.
but as soon as they said, continued to say friggin',
Yeah.
friggin',
Yeah.
it just took the gangster out of it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't watch this shit.
Yeah,
man.
that's
I gotta hear the word fuck sometimes. You know
That's
what I mean?
pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I know.
But there's a weird kind of politeness about the mafia and the way they communicate with each other, right? There's like a
Yeah.
weird kind of formality.
There's a weird respect, right? It's
Yeah,
respect
like you
is-
gotta wear the suits,
Yeah.
you gotta, kiss the ring. There's all these weird kind of secret
Yeah.
society
Well, Hell's
formalities.
Angels try to take over a lot of the attributes of the mafia, right? Of the old school mafia. So a lot of the Hell's Angel rules, you go into clubhouses and you hang around with those guys. There is this mafioso feel to it, right? Like you can't have sex with another member's girl, and you got to respect the up guy and pay it up
Hierarchy.
and all this stuff, right? So they, I mean, I guess it's made for them to last. You know what I mean? But it's like in any kind of culture or anything, there's rules and guidelines you have to stay by, right?
You know what the weird thing is? Growing up, I was obsessed with all these mafia movies, and they're racist as fuck.
Yeah,
they hate
racist.
brown skinned people.
Yeah.
Hate them.
Yep.
We fucking admired them. Like, oh yeah, I want to be Cosa Nostra, like Cosa Nostra. I want a conciliary, Like,
Yeah.
what? Fucking don't even want to look at us.
Yeah. But I think that's like that in the Latin
Yeah.
countries too, though, right? They look at the
True, man.
like the Suarez gang and the Sinaloa cartel. You know what I mean? Like that was for the Latin communities, that was their gangsters, right? Hey, like you think of Scarface, he's a hero kind of in all walks of like the underground world, right? Like every culture knows Scarface.
Every culture.
Hey, and they just like love Scarface the movie. He's like the ultimate gangster, right?
But it's the code.
It's the code,
It's
huh?
the code, man. I'll kill no fucking kids.
Yeah.
Shit like that. When you say shit like that, I'll kill no fucking kids.
Yeah.
No, women and kids.
Yeah.
I'll kill no fucking women and kids. Shit like that just makes him endearing. You're like, oh, I love this guy.
Yeah.
I love this guy. But
So, Tiago, are you going on tour? Or like you going to be playing locally, or what's going on with you with music? What's the plans for the rest of the year?
So first of all, we're doing a show on the 10th coming up on a Friday night at the Gilton Co.
oh, dope.
Yeah.
Good venue.
And it's featuring myself, Cinez, a couple other musicians that are in the scene. Timmy Boombap, Tim Prosnick is world-class drummer producer. He put the whole thing together, and we have a bunch of cool covers that we're gonna do, and a bunch of cool originals that we're gonna do, and it's gonna be fun, man. It's always a good vibe in that club, and so that's on the 10th. There's release dates coming for my new project with Mozart to the grant system, and that should be end of June, hopefully. Should be wrapped up, and I'll have some dates for that. As far as that goes, I've just been, focusing on just my content and making sure I have a proper set. I might not perform that much this summer, which I'm not even worried about. I think everyone is just so horny to get out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It won't be
And that-
quality crowds, and it won't be kind of. There'll be a
just,
lot of push and a lot of people just throwing things together.
Oh,
Probably,
you're seeing it
right?
already. I see it every day on social media. People just trying to force shows together just to get shit done.
Yeah, just to get back on the stage.
Yeah.
But I'm taking my time and just making sure it's done right, and
Nice, man.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like curating dope stuff, man.
Yeah.
What do you see for yourself? What's the dream goal if you look at yourself career wise in music?
I want to get fully funded by these grants. Is my main objective. I'm not really looking for like a major label because there really is no point in the labels.
Totally
I can still get marketing grants. I can still get touring grants. Like, why would I go to a label?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Get everything funded. I never have to pay them back.
Independent.
You know?
That's amazing.
It's an independent, system. It's a
Fucking
beautiful,
amazing system,
it's a beautiful
man.
system that we have in Canada for the grants.
Yeah.
And like everyone's used them, from Drake to like Dave Emotions, like all those. Everyone's used the grant system.
Yeah.
But there's also guys that are on the come up that don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They just call the venue and
Oh yeah.
they get a full club, right?
Fuck, that's beautiful.
They've worked themselves up there.
Yeah, that's big. It's important. Yeah, the grant system is important for artists. They just they don't feed everybody. They're very particular with how grants have to be written, who writes them, who get approved for them. So it's not an easy thing.
Well, it's to promote the arts, right? We got to always really think about what they're for. They're to promote the arts.
Yeah, and you need an
not
ace
the
in the hole,
people.
right? You need someone that knows the system and how to work the system.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just gonna be paying people huge amounts of money to write grants for you, right? And hope for the best. Yeah. Okay, so we have these questions that we'd like to end the podcast with.
And thanks for coming out here and like putting up with us. I know we got kind
it's
of
fun.
bipolar podcast.
It went a lot smoother than I thought.
Yeah, it did.
Like it's gonna be a shit show over here.
No, we know how to keep it moving. But yeah, so okay. After you die, you have the opportunity to take 3 artists' entire music catalog with you to the afterlife. 3 artists, their whole catalog. Who do you take?
This is it. That's all the music you get.
That's it for eternity.
It's tough.
Yes.
That's tough. I'm way out there though. I probably pick like some Bee Gees.
Oh shit.
Because it would just bring me back to when I was a kid. You know, my mom had the vinyl and shit. I used to play that thing religiously. Saturday Night Fever was just like part of my upbringing.
With all 3 of them in
It
their
just
white
happened to be
suits on
there.
the cover.
Oh man,
Right? The double album that opens.
Yeah. I would probably take some Michael Jackson. Yeah.
He's reoccurring. So you got Bee Gees, you got MJ.
Who's your favorite Michael Jackson album? What's your favorite one?
I mean the Thriller was fucking dope.
Thriller was
It
great.
was dope. Yeah.
Masterpiece.
Like that, yeah, that was totally like that was then I started breakdancing. I gotta hear Thriller album, man. That shit make me move. And the last one I would probably pick like that's a tough one, man. The third one's gonna be tough.
Music you get forever.
That's it. Well, Michael kind of gives you the, like he's changed with every album. So you get with Michael Jackson, and I think why people always pick Michael Jackson is because he was the guy that started change. He was the guy who was like, no, you have to change every single time you release an album, right? It's him and Prince, right? Like Michael, every album was different. From Off the Wall to Thriller was totally different. Then to Bad, totally different, right? You keep going. So I think that's what it is with Michael. You can relive a certain time in your life.
Well, I think the
Growing
meaning
up
is different for MJ too, because like, dude, he was a political artist, man. When you listen to his lyrics, dude, he's mad political. Talks about racism, climate change with Earth Song. Like, he's all over the map when it comes to his political beliefs. I think people feel that, right? Like, Man in the Mirror was deep as fuck, man.
That's a good one too.
Yeah. But MJ's been on like almost everybody's list. I
Yeah.
think there's like 3 people that didn't have MJ in the list.
Right.
I'm gonna pick the last one. I'm gonna pick Lalo Rodriguez. He's a salsa singer from Puerto Rico.
Damn.
Just love him. He's huge in the '80s,
Wow.
and like it's just like some
It's a
wicked,
good one.
authentic salsa music that I just
Great.
love.
It's great.
That is great. That's good.
Bee Gees is a new one. We've never had
Bee Gees is great. I mean, I love Bee Gees.
I like the nostalgia. Like it reminds me when I was,
Yeah.
you know.
It's got the mad falsetto, right?
Yeah. That's probably where I got it from.
Yeah.
Singing the Bee Gees.
You're singing the Bee Gees.
Saturday Night Fever, man, 1975. I think the year I was born. I think that came out. That was huge.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Fucking that Bee Gees, man. It's good. Even to this day, there's like I play Staying Alive. People always jam to that song, man.
Such a cliche. Yeah.
Staying alive. I think only one of them's alive too. Barry. I think it's Barry.
Every time you hear Staying Alive, I can't help but think of CPR.
What's that?
CPR.
Like saving
Because
somebody?
they say that
Staying alive. Oh, is that really?
how you're supposed to pump the chest.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Nonsense.
All right, so here's your last question tonight,
Okay.
Diego, and thank you for coming all the way out here from East Van out to this fucking dangerous neighborhood, man.
Is my car gonna be okay?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Don't worry. They know not to mess around.
Okay.
They might wash it. So we talked a lot about life and death on the show, and we talked a lot about belief and what's real and conspiracy and everything. And so our final question kind of comes down to this. When you die, what happens? What do you believe happens when you die?
I believe that when I die, my spirit will live on for sure through my music. I mean, I might not. I really thought about it, but what I have thought was of how am I going to leave a legacy, and I think that's where the music is very important to me. That even when I die, my kids will still have the songs, and the songs are all my life story. Like I don't just write about bullshit. Like I write about love, tragedy, death,
Yeah.
everything, breakup.
Yeah, nice.
So, and one thing that stuck to me, the locksmith, he said, there is no such thing as writer's block
Facts.
because you, as an artist, you should be writing about your experiences, and that's what I've always done, and I've honestly never had writer's block.
That's really good.
Same space.
It's really
Because
cool.
I'm just, I'm just trying to live and sing about my life,
So you leave your spirit with the music that you leave behind, the catalog that you leave behind in this world is the spirit that is left.
So you think you just go black afterwards?
No, I think we'll have the ability to watch over someone and guide a little bit. I think it's important. I've lived a very spiritual life too. Like I've been in touch with like a lot of spiritual encounters, and I've grown up that way, and I've had visions, and I've experienced like
Yeah.
I don't know if they're ghosts or spirits or someone trying to tell me something, but I felt like
Something more.
more powerful in my home, and I knew it. And that night is when I experienced like I was floating in my room. It's kind of
heavy.
It's pretty. It's happened a lot
Wow,
in my life, and I just feel like, they're trying to tell me something, or whether I'm not living right, or I gotta fix something, or so.
Well, that's
Powerful.
cool. It's deep.
Yeah. You've had some similar experiences.
Yeah, had it all, right? That's really cool, man. And me personally, I just believe it's black, and we're just gone. But I think some people, as I get older now, I start to really rethink my position, and I think that some people, with their connection with the world, do get to live on in that ghost spirit or something. I think it's this. There's something that's created while you're alive that creates such a powerful force that doesn't allow you to just go. Something happens. I think that the people who have low lights, I think maybe you just fizzle out and it's over. But if you have this real shining, bright like light, right, and you create a lot of good, then perhaps there's a chance.
Interesting.
Perhaps there's a chance, man, because you create this powerful being, and as we see, like it's hard to take a powerful being out and gone. There's a lot of our heroes that live on.
Yeah.
Right, we still talk about them way after we're dead, right?
100%, man.
So they've created that being that is so powerful, and so I think
Your thought process is evolving.
It is evolving, man.
Evolution.
I'm getting old.
Every episode, we say the word evolution at some point.
Yeah.
At some point, man.
Just so weird how it happened at the very end of the episode.
It did. Bro, thank you so much for coming out.
100%. Thanks for having me, boys.
Good episode, man.
We can't wait to go out and see one of your
Make
shows.
sure you subscribe to the High Phrase podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram. We'll post all the links for man Tiago so you can listen to his music as well. That's Mike Olton.
And we're gonna test the podcast marketer now too with this episode.
Yes.
Right. So we're gonna see if you're watching this to the end, then you're hired. If you're just putting this shit out there and you're not really trying, then no luck. But we'll see how well he does on this one. So that's good. He's got.